Welcome back and welcome in. We are just getting back from the Gators Media Day that they held in Gainesville. Shout out to High Top Sports. Shout out to Stadium and Gale. Shout out to Gators Breakdown. Just such an awesome event. It was so sick to be able to meet a lot of you and to be able to meet the guys from these podcasts and just, podcasts that I've listened to for so long now. It was really sick to be able to actually get to shake hands and meet these guys in person. Um, Again, such an awesome event. I hope that it continues on for years to come. And, hopefully you see your boy up there one day. That's the plan. The goals is to be a part of these things. It really fired me up to come home and want to make content. And so, you know, again, just shout out to those guys. You see why just them making that panel and then being up there, you see why they are where they are because they're just such, they're really precise on their content and just on their craft and how they go about making these things and, just creating the content for all of us. So yeah, it's sick to be able to be there and just kind of get that energy from everybody to want to come home and create more. And so just also super appreciative of, I don't got a lot of subscribers on here, but I am very appreciative of those of you who recognized me, came up to me and, just all the kind words you said to me. And you really, really amped me up to want to keep doing this. And I'm, extremely, extremely appreciative. I know that I'm nowhere near the level of those guys yet, but I am very, very appreciative. And I thank you seriously from the bottom of my heart. If you're watching this and you came up to me, seriously, thank you so, so much. It meant the absolute world to me. But yeah, so again, let's hope that this keeps going on for years to come. It's cool to be able to connect with the players, the podcasts. It's really, really cool event. We're not going to talk any recruiting this week because there's just not been much movement for us. We haven't really got anybody. There's some commitments that are coming up, in August that we're going to be a part of. And, so hopefully we'll have a little bit more to talk about on the recruiting side. But some good news on the Gators front is Austin Turner, he got granted another year. I know it feels like he's been in college for a while now, but I don't know what that means for the depth chart. I don't know where he's going to kind of sit at on there, but I can tell you one thing is that seniority, being in the locker room, that's going to be massive, massive, massive going forward. He's going to help these young bucks be able to excel a lot, like Graham Mertz did for Lagway last season. Asa didn't really get to shine because, he got hurt. 12 plays into the Miami game? Nothing you can do about that. Nothing you can do about it. Glad to have him back. Like I said, I don't know where he's going to fall on the depth chart, but no matter what, I'd rather have him in there than not have him in there because if you saw last year, you see how key it is to have depth, and we need it. We need it bad in there. So glad to have him. I'm glad he got one more year and that'll be back with us. I think that we'll see years to come how much that means to have him in there for one more year. But yeah, so that's the good news. Slightly on the bad news, let's not freak out before I say this. Let's take a chill pill and let's take this for what it's worth. From what I'm hearing, I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but from what I'm hearing and from what the message boards are kind of saying is that Lagway is in a boot. All I'm hearing is that he's going to be a couple days out of fall ball and he'll be right back to it. Who knows what it is? It may just be a precautionary thing that, hey, this is a little bit tweaked. He got a little bit worked on and he just wants to get a few more touches on the body before fall camp starts and before the season starts. We as Gators fans, we see this, and just reading on X, it's so hard scrolling through there because if you're a Gators fan and you have any of the least bit of like anxiety or panic or whatever, you go on X, you're going to be absolutely a wreck going into the season. we don't know what it is fully. I've heard tweaked ankle a little bit. I've heard this. I've heard that. Don't it? Nothing's been solidified that that's what it is. So just let it all work out. It'll be fine. He's going to be back. Like I said, it's not like he's missing extended time. If he does start to miss extended time, okay, then we might want to hit the panic button. But it's going to all play out. Just relax. You know, it's going to be okay. So I'm fine with it. Like I said, if he misses a couple of days of fall camp to fix up things that's going to keep him through, the longevity of the season, I'm cool with it. I'm fine with it. That's cool with me. We should walk through our first two games and he can get kind of that in-game feel and get warmed up there. I know people are like, we want him to get reps. Okay, it's fine. But you want him to also last through the season. So if he's got injuries and he's got problems right now, let's let that get fixed now and miss a couple, if it's 2-3 days of fall camp, you ain't out there anyway. So you don't even know. The only reason that you know that he's missing it is because the media is putting it out there. So it'll be fine. But that's really it for Gators news for this week. At the media day, we got to hear from a couple players, Webb, Jackson. It's cool to just like hear their insight on the team and just to hear them talk about just how everyone has come together and, just how everything is working. You can tell that this team is just playing as one, and that's what I love to hear. I mean, I want that same energy that was at the end of last season. I want it to just keep rolling, you know, into next season and into this upcoming season. I want that train to keep rolling. I want that same energy that I saw at that Florida Ole Miss game, that Florida LSU game. I just want it just that steamrolling right into this coming season. So to hear them talk, it really fired me up. And also, I don't know what's going on in that weight room, but them boys look like they're ready to run through a brick wall. I mean, this strength and conditioning it's just leveling up. It's absolutely mind blowing. Um, so yeah, you love to see it. You love to see it. You love to hear it. We're gonna do a quick couple of games deep dive. We got starting off with Florida versus Tennessee. Florida leads the series 32-22, and we know how last year went. You know, we came out with an L, but I am not going to be one that sits here and gives these awards for you tried this. No, 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 no. There's no second place trophies here. But watching that game last year and Graham getting hurt after celebrating the play, he gets hurt. They look at Lagway and it's like, hey, you're the guy now. And I mean, I think all of us could tell when Graham went down, like that's not good. That's not just a little tweak. He'll be back in a couple plays. You saw it. You knew what it meant. Not good. Um, the one thing that I can come out of it positive about is that you hear from all different players, just from any team in the conference. They go about asking, "Oh, where are these tough places to play?" Neyland Stadium always gets brought up, and to have Lag go in and not only play as well as he did, you got what 30 seconds left in the game, and he throws an absolute rope to Shamir DK to score a touchdown to end up, tying the game up. Me personally, I think we should have went for two. We should have, struck while the iron was hot and tried to, and tried to steal that game out of there. But it is what it is. I get what Billy was doing. He's got a true freshman in Neyland Stadium. I understand. I get it. But the one thing that showed me is that DJ is ready to play anywhere. He is a baller. He makes plays that I'm sorry, but you don't see a lot of quarterbacks step in and do that. You just don't. I'll be 100% honest. I don't know if Graham goes in and makes that throw. If Graham Mertz is healthy and you give him that same scenario, I don't know if Graham makes that throw. And I love Graham Mertz, but it shows you the star that we have at quarterback. Again, if Lag stays healthy, it's a problem. I mean, this is a guy who can outplay even bad play calling. He can. He makes throws happen. Um, that's big for me. That's the biggest thing coming out of that game is that I saw how much of just a real big time player that we have, you know, coming back the next season. And now it's his squad. I fully believe, and there's no way to prove it, but I'll put all my chips in on it that if that same game, that same scenario, all of that is played in the swamp last season, we come out of there victorious. That's all there is to it. Um, but yeah, I just, you know, I- it's a different team coming into Gainesville this year with, Nico is not leading that team, and I just don't see, I don't know. They're gonna have to show me because I don't see how they got better. I can sit here as a biased Gators fan and say this and that about the Gators, but I think that anybody in the media, anybody around, unless they're just haters, can tell you that we got better. We got better, or we retained people at certain positions to be able to stay great at that position, or those guys excelled even more, and that position is going to be better. Whereas Tennessee lost a lot, and lost a lot to the transfer portal. And as much as I don't think that Nico's that great of a quarterback, he still is better than what they got now. And so I don't know. I'll be honest. I really don't think that this game is close. Just to be brutally honest, I don't. I think that this. I've talked about the Ole Miss game. I think that there's a chance. That's in Ole Miss, but I think that's going to be way more of a game than this Tennessee game is. I really think we're going to go back to how we handled Tennessee for a while there, and I think we're going to be too much for them talent wise. I think there's too much talent all over the field, and I just don't think they can match up for us position to position. Um, and again, I don't think Nico's that great, but Nico was definitely head and shoulders better than what they got now. So I I said it before, I'll say it again. I don't pick wins and losses because I'm biased, and we're going undefeated. That's all there is to it. In my mind, you know, we haven't lost the game if we haven't played it yet. So that's just all there is to it. And you know, the game has to be played. But yeah, I think that I think we handle them boys. I do. I think we handle them. I don't think that they're going to be able to come into the swamp and hang. They might be able to hang for a quarter or so, but I really do think that it's going to get nasty for a majority of that game. It's going to be loud there. A lot of Gators fans are going to be it's going to fill up that swamp, and they're going to remember how it felt last year to lose that game. The players remember how it felt to lose that game. I know that Lagway's going to remember how it feels. Just all of them. Jaden Ball, every one of them are going to know what that felt like. Last season. Now you got to come to the swamp. So good luck with that. We handled that easy. Remember, I said it. You can mark this down. We handle that game easily. Um, Now for everybody outside of you can give or take. You hear some Gators fans say Georgia's their most hated game. This one is hands down I hate. I can't. I don't like FSU. Can't stand them. Absolutely just don't like the chants. I don't like the colors. I don't like nothing about them. Nothing about them. And I am absolutely 1000% okay with planting the flag, you know, at their 50-yard line. And just like if they are able to beat us, go ahead, plant the flag. You deserve that. But I loved watching George Gums plant that flag at their 50-yard line. I would love to have him on the show just because I want to thank him for doing that, because that's the energy I love. Bring that energy, bring back the rivalry. To be honest with you, I just it hasn't felt the same as like when I was younger. I don't know if it's just because like when they've been good, we haven't been good, and like even vice versa. Um, and yeah, last year it was the same way, but it felt like okay. It almost felt like an energy was brought back that if FSU's good this year, we're good this year, it's going to create like such a madness of a game to end the season on rivalry week. Uh, I'm not going to say I'm ready for it because I do not want football season to fly by. But here's my thing. Okay. Florida State, Florida State being 2-10 last year. I don't care. I don't. Florida State fans, you guys can say what you want. Gators fans, you guys are with me. No matter what, 2-10, I don't care if it's not the same team. I don't care what it is. Your head coach brought in those players that was a part of that 2-10 team. And okay, yeah, he might be, he might be disgusted by it. He might do these antics of, oh, we'll take my salary here, do this here. I don't care about that. You went 2-10. That's all there is to it. That is the worst Florida State team I've ever seen in my entirety of my life. I've never seen a team that bad. And I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I loved every second of it. I wish they'd went 0-12. Don't care. I wish they lost every game. Every single game. I wish they had lost because I just don't care. I don't like them that much. But when it comes to this game, Florida leads, just so I said about Tennessee, Florida leads this series 38-28, and there's 2 ties. Last year, we walked in to, Ron Zook Field, and we handled that 31-11. I don't care. Again, I don't care how bad your team was. Don't care. Any win against Florida State is a great win. But fast forward to this year, you get the Mike Norvell special. You get the Mike Norvell special where who knows what this team's going to be. It's constantly the same thing with the media every single these seasons with them with this transfer portal. They just rebuild through the transfer portal. Okay, yeah, 2 years ago, say what you want about that team. It's the same thing with the Gators. Knock on wood, hopefully, if we go undefeated throughout the whole season and if something happens to Lagway, yeah, we don't, we might make it into the playoffs because it's a larger playoff, field. But if it was a 4-team playoff, we would not deserve to be in because Lagway is that guy who's going to take us there. That's no offense to Harrison. It's no offense to anybody, any of the other quarterbacks on the team. And if it is, then so be it. But JT was a life of y'all's team. And so I don't want to hear about that team 2 years ago, but this is what they're known for is we don't know what they got. You bring in a quarterback who quit on his team last year, got benched. What are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, well, I don't understand. And so, yes, Deuce Robinson, then bringing him in, that's great. That's fine. But, I mean, what did he really do at USC? That shows you that you're like, oh, he's going to make such an impact here. Or Squirrel White, from Tennessee. Okay, they bring him in. Been injury prone his whole entire time in college. But again, you got Thomas Castellanos that you're like, who's going to get him the ball? He can't throw the ball. I haven't seen him throw well. And, he's wanting to say this, dominating the ACC. No, fam. No, you got benched. That's all there is to it. So we'll see. We'll see what Florida State is going to bring to the, what they're going to bring to the table week 1. They got to go against Bama. We'll see. Hopefully they can bring a little more to the plate than they brought, to the table than they brought last year, because everyone knew going to that game that we're going to smack them boys around. And so who knows? We'll see what the transfer portal builds for them this year. We'll see if they got some Christmas gifts in there and it ends up working out for them. Yeah, it's the Mike Norvell special of just got to keep rebuilding through the transfer portal. And, it is what it is. They love to talk about their recruiting class right now being where they're at. And it's like, well, you got a full stack class and you're only at 13 and your class is almost full. So I don't care. Forget them guys. I don't like them. This will be the one that I predict. Florida easily. Thomas Castellanos and that team is not coming into the swamp and beating the Florida Gators. I don't care. I don't care who's at quarterback. They're not going. It's not happening. It's not. Gus Malzahn, that you can talk about him being an OC now, and well, he gets to just focus on the offense. No, that it's outdated. It's completely outdated. Let's just be real here. Yeah, it is what it would not shock me if come to the end of the season that Thomas Castellanos is benched and he's not even, their quarterback, and you might mess around and quit on them too. And so, yeah, I told you, I always have a passionate segment of the week, and this is it because I just don't like them guys. They disgust me. And living in Florida, yeah, you got the two bad guys and you got the good guys, and I get so sick of hearing about the other two. It just disgusts me. But yeah, Florida by 1,000,000 in that game. Jot it down. Florida State's not coming into the swamp and beating the Gators. I don't care who we put out there on that team. Our practice squad is beating them boys. Remember, I said it. Don't care. It is what it is. But yeah, that's just basically a deep dive. I think both teams kind of had to hit the transfer portal in really significant areas. Florida State all over the field. And then, with Tennessee hitting it with quarterback, they're losing some key pieces, whether it be to the NFL or again to the transfer portal. I don't, I see us ending the season with both those games being wins. Again, we're in my eyes, we're undefeated. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm ready for it to kick off. And like I said, I hope that game gets here very, very slow because I do not want this football season to fly by. So yeah. But moving forward, we have a giveaway. So what this giveaway is going to entail is going to be a High Top Sports Spot the Ball t-shirt and then a Florida Gators hat. I'm going to give both of those away to one person, and the details, I'm going to post it on all of my socials, but the details are going to be, let me pull this up for you so that you guys know. We got some steps for you that you have to follow and things like that to be able to win. But here's how to enter. You have to subscribe to my YouTube. Then you have to follow my Instagram or follow my X account, or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and or follow on TikTok. But Instagram and X is a mandatory. TikTok is there. If you do, let me know. And then the one other thing is that you need to comment done, showing that you did all these things. So when I post this, comment done under my Instagram post, and then to get an extra ticket into the drawing, tag a Florida Gators fan and have them subscribe as well. If they subscribe, it puts them into the running if they do all those things as well. So, if you want extra, kind of a cheap way to do it, get some people to come do all these things here, and it gets you extra tickets into it, however you got to do it. So yeah, we're going to let this run for a few weeks, and then I'm going to announce the winner. And so I'm super excited about that. Super excited to give those things away. We are going to have some merch that we're going to be making, and we will do another giveaway later on for that stuff as well. But, this is kind of a way of me, kind of giving a shout out to High Top Sports for helping me out, shouting me out. I want to give away some of that merch. Their merch is sick. I don't know if you've seen it. I'll kind of, I'll show you. Oh, no, it's hard to see, but it is sick. It says Spot the Ball on the front with a football on there, their logo on there. On the back, it says Spot the Ball with their logo again. And then it's got the Gators schedule for this season. So yeah, that's the rules. Like I said, it'll be posted on all my socials, and that way that everybody knows what to do. But the biggest thing is that you have to do, you have to follow those. I'll say this too, if you follow every single one of them and you're subscribed and you comment that stuff, I'll throw in even an extra ticket for that. Um, so yeah, we're gonna put the names. We're gonna do the drawing live on here. I don't know how we're gonna do it. Maybe a duck race, maybe a spin wheel. I don't know how we're gonna do it just yet, but we'll go live, have some fun with it, get everybody in here, see who can win it. So it'll be a lot of fun. Like I said, we'll get it all figured out. You can give us your size, and we'll get that sent out to you and everything. So yeah, that is the giveaway. So questions of the week. This is some pretty good ones. Let me pull this up. We're gonna have two for you. Let me see. Okay. First question of the week is, if something happens to Lagway, how far do you think that Harrison Bailey can take us? Okay. This is a really, really, really good question. Like, seriously, I like this question. I should have asked this to Shelton when he was on. But in my honest opinion, I think that Harrison Bailey can come in and I think he can lead us to some wins. I do not think that Harrison Bailey can help us beat a Texas. I don't think he can help us beat a Georgia or even an LSU. I just don't think he's going to come in and help us beat those guys. I do think others, Kentucky's, Tennessee's, Florida State's, even in Ole Miss. I think that he could help us, push us over the top to beat them. I don't think that we're going to be able to handle those guys like if Lagway was in there. But we don't do anything in the playoffs. If for some reason we make it to the playoffs, we do not do anything with Harrison Bailey. And it's not a knock against him. I just don't feel super comfortable with him coming in and taking over the reins of this team and leading us, too far. I think he can come in, he can get some wins. I think that this defense has the ability to keep us in games no matter what. And honestly, this defense is going to be so good. I think that, you only need to score once or twice. And I think, you can win with how talented this defense can be, to be honest with you. But yeah, I really, if Harrison Bailey, I'll say this, if Harrison was to start the season and he was our guy, this was our quarterback, he was to start the season, I think we're looking at like a 7-5, maybe 8-4. But yeah, I think that's his cap is 8 wins. And then I think, with Lagway, if you were to tell me that Lagway made it through the whole season healthy and we were undefeated, wouldn't shock me a bit. Would not shock me a bit. I think that he is just such a special and generational talent. So yeah, that was a sick question. I love that one. I like these questions that really, help me be able to think, and whatnot. The next question is it's just like a personal question. And it's talking about, am I going to have any tailgates at the games that I'm going to be at this season? I don't personally have anything planned where anybody, would come to a tailgate or anything like that. I don't have anything planned for that. My plan is to, yes, we usually tailgate, just hang out, play some cornhole, things like that. And by all means, if we do that, any of you are more than welcome to come up, come over, hang out, play cornhole with us, throw the football, whatever the case may be, eat some food with us. More than welcome to come over and hang out with us. I met the guys from We Never Lost a Tailgate, and I do plan on going over to that tailgate, especially week 1. I want to go, hang out with those guys. They were super, super kind at the media day. And I'm super appreciative of just the time of them, coming over and talking to us. Sam, who is there, we're standing in line and, he tells me, hey, that podcast seems great. I love the logo, and just, us chatting back and forth and him inviting us over. Super, super nice guys. Gator Flair from, Twitter. Awesome guys. So I would definitely be, at that tailgate as well. But I definitely, no matter what, even I said it earlier, even if we don't do a tailgate or whatever the case may be, if I'm even walking up wherever you see me up there, come up and say what's up. I'd love to meet you guys. I want to meet everyone that takes the time to watch this because, again, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I'm super, super appreciative and thankful for anyone who takes the time to sit here and watch me rant and rave about the Gators. So yeah, no tailgates as of right now planned, but if I do end up planning something, I will post about it. I will talk about it in future podcasts, and we will make that shake and make that happen. But again, I say it again, no matter what, come say what's up, hang out with me, chit chat with me. I love kicking it with you guys, and just, anytime I get to talk Gators football, I'm completely down to talk it. So yeah, can't wait to continue to meet you guys and get y'all's opinions. I do want to do a live show. I want to get people on. I kind of got a feeler on Instagram for it. I'm gonna get a feeler on like TikTok and X just to see, you know, who wants to come on. I know it's a little weird to come on, and show your face, but even if you got to just cover your camera and just hear your voice, that's fine. Don't be shy. I just want to get everybody on here. I want to hear, y'all's opinions on what you think our record's going to be. See if you're as biased as I am. Just kind of do a rundown of how you feel the season's going to go, where you think, the season ends up, our record, all of that. Let's just, kick it, talk Gators football. So I want to do a live show here very, very soon before the season starts. And yeah, we're working our way up on these subscribers. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers. So please, like, comment, share this with your friends. Any Gators fans just let them know. Let's build this up. I'm truly, truly, I know I keep saying it, but I am very, very grateful. So, I know this is a short episode today. I'm really sorry for that. It's, the season's we're tracking the season in. Once season comes, we're going to have, longer episodes. I got episodes that I'm working on getting lined up with going live with, Cody, the professor from High Top Sports. I'm going live with Silk from Stadium and Gale. We're going to be, working out of time for that. Allie from A Peek Inside Gators Football. We're going to be going live as well. So look for those episodes. I want you guys to come, kick it, hang out while we're live, chit chat with us. And again, just like we did with Shelton, come hang out and talk some Gators football with us. But yeah, again, very, very appreciative. Can't wait to continue to meet you guys. I hope you guys come to the games. Comment on the YouTube, comment on the Instagram. Let me know what games you're going to. I'll let you know as of right now. I know for a fact that we're going to LIU and going to Texas. Might be going to Florida versus Tennessee. Don't know yet. But we're talking about it. It's in the works. But I know for sure that those two games we're going to. And I am hyped. You'll see me at my peak energy at those games. So yeah, come kick it. Come say what's up. Come hang out. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me today. And you guys know what it is. You know the saying. You know how it goes. If you ain't a Gator, y'all know the rest.